Yeah, I just thought it was a hard-fought game. Got to give credit to Coach Chesney, his staff. Those guys played extremely hard. Ultimately handled the weather a little bit better than we did. I'm proud with how our guys battled. Just so happy with this senior class and everything that they were able to accomplish this year and get us back to a place where we can play meaningful games in December, and ultimately that's what it's about in our program. I just, you got to give them credit, and I think you look at it, they had 21 points off our turnovers. I think that was a huge key of the game. And we knew, obviously, the footing was going to be a little bit of an issue. They're very stout up front, so some of those runs all year where Dylan would start in the A or B gap and then bounce, when we were working laterally, simply wasn't going to be the case today. So good defensive game plan by Coach James. I think they blitzed a lot more percentage-wise than they had, which, rightfully so, makes a ton of sense based on the elements. But I'm just proud with how our guys battled. And I think we took a step in the right direction this year. Obviously, it hurts to lose. I think that's why this game is so special, because it humbles you at times, and you have to do some deep soul searching with a tough loss like that. We're going to go back to work, and the young men that are committed to come back in our program this year, we're going to use that as fuel in the off season and get bigger, stronger, faster, and hopefully we have an opportunity to play meaningful games like that, in the next few years.
Coach, with the weather, how much did it affect play calling more than anything, especially in that first half?
I think it affected it quite a bit. Obviously we've been pretty balanced in the past, and really the last month of the season, I think our passing attack has taken off a little bit, and Max has been extremely efficient with the football. So obviously, in particular in the first half, we weren't really able to do that, and we were a little bit one-dimensional. And you got to give them credit. They stopped us on the ground, so it was certainly a factor. But both teams had to deal with it, and that it is what it was. So at the end of the day, whatever the conditions were, we're going to go out there and work as hard as we can to put the best product on the field. And today simply wasn't good enough.
And just for both of you guys too, playing in it, how bad was it, especially in that first half?
It's definitely an adjustment from what we're used to. Personally, this is my first wet grass field. I played here at 19, but I'm just getting used to that. But the same with the guys on the team, learning how you can cut and how you can't cut. A lot of the stuff was downhill today, and even with the receivers too. Just knowing that some of their routes can't be as sharp as other ones. So it's definitely an adjustment, learning experience for sure.
For me, it was just like, it was windy, so I was like more cold than anything, like come off the sideline, so a little chilly. Defensively though, like for us, it was just trying to they were like wet, so it was like slide off tackles, stuff like that. But it was an adjustment. But
can you both players talk to about the season and about how far you came this season?
Yeah, bouncing back from a 3-8 season to what we're doing now is it's a huge accomplishment. Definitely not. We're not satisfied at all with what we've done. But I'm super proud of the team. That's a hard thing to do is gather momentum coming back from a losing season, 8 games in a row. To come to where we are now, that doesn't happen very often. And get to where we are now, it's a huge credit to our coaching staff, the guys that stayed, the seniors. The leadership was definitely a big change this year. And it was an exciting thing to see, and I'm very excited to come back next year and do the same thing.
piggyback off of him, I actually experienced the 3-8 year. It was tough, and then coming back this year and winning the conference, winning 8 games in the regular season, winning the first round of playoffs, it's a step in the right direction. It's knowing how it feels to lose and then finally getting winning. It's a good experience. So for me as a whole, we didn't get the outcome we wanted today, but this year it's been better than what it was. So happy to be here.
Any more questions?
Just because they asked you this before, just in a nutshell, what were they doing on offense? Because they had a huge time of possession advantage.
I feel we just play out of control defensively. I feel like we let with their chippiness get to our heads. We had a couple of flags that were uncommon for us. I feel like we just didn't weather the storm how we should have. Yeah, that's.